Hey, here is Danny, and this is the finish of our Shimano road group sets overview. We're gonna cover the Dura-Ace R9100 today, and just let me know whether we should now move on to the SRAM and Campy road group sets or to the Shimano mountain bike group sets. So let me know. I'm gonna publish the poll in the community tab, and now we're gonna compare some main features of the Dura-Ace R9100 with the Dura-Ace R9000, so the previous one, and I'm gonna also tell you which features from the newest Dura-Ace have trickled down already to the Ultegra. It's been covered. I'm just gonna sum up some info. And I will give you this info also in the order in which I would be upgrading from the older Dura-Ace to the newer, if I would, because I'm not even riding Dura-Ace on my everyday training and racing bikes. But there are some features which are really interesting. So let's see what bikes would be equipped with Dura-Ace. These will be for sure all the pro riders road bikes. So the example is the Trek Madone 9.9 spec with the full Shimano Dura-Ace 9100 group set. The cyclocross bikes, the newest Dura-Ace has some nice features for the cyclocross bikes as well. So there you go, Rose Xeon, the high-end cyclocross bike, can be featured with this spec with this group set. And finally, the time trial specific felt IA FRD. Guys, could you be giving names to your bikes, because these are cool bikes with no names, just symbols. So full Dura-Ace, I'm just not sure whether the mechanical aero bar specific shifters and braking levers are available on the newest group set, because DI2 for sure, but what about the mechanical? So let me know if you know, and let's move on to the main features. Let's start with the rear derailleur. This is the 9100, this is the 9000. Huge difference. Here we have huge difference. Now, this will perform very well. The 105 will perform very well on the roads, but here we have some improvements which you might want to have on your bike. So first off, this is the shadow system. This derailleur is very slim. It's hidden, much more hidden. It's not that bulky. So if you crash on the right side, on the drive side of your bike, the derailleur is well protected, which does matter for road racing, because yes, guys are crashing pretty often on the road, much more often than on the mountain bike, even like cross-country events. So the shadow system helps here. I did also compare the Ultegra shadow to the 105 non-shadow, how they work on the bumps. The shadow is much more stable, because we have not only the slimmer design, but also the springs are harder. So they just keep the derailleur in place. Comparing to this one, there will be pretty huge difference. This is not the only one. Also, the cable routing is much different. As you can see, I'm not sure why for so many years we did have to have this long curvy housing to the rear derailleur. Now it's got much shorter, it's better, it will fit also much better your bike if you have the internal cable routing with the chainstay, with the housing inside the chainstays. This will be much better shifting also thanks to this design. So this is the difference, huge difference. I'm just gonna mention that this also looks like Star Wars. It's so great. And now we can also use this derailleur with 1 up to 30 teeth cassette, whereas this one was up to 28. So yes, we can use these as a pro riders, and we can have whatever cassettes we need for some serious climbing. So this is the thing I would upgrade as the first one if I would be doing that. All right. The second one is the front derailleur, and also you can see the 9000 versus the 9100. Pretty significant difference. The main difference here is that here we have the internal toggle mechanism. Here we have this long arm, which Shimano claimed was significant improvement for the front derailleur. I have no negative thoughts about this systems. Actually, this Derailleur works, but this one is better because it leaves us more space for the tires. So if you are running the tires on cyclocross bike or you just want to have 28 millimeters tires on some bikes, it would be very, very tiny space there. This new front derailleur will be better. But something even more interesting for me is that this derailleur, the new one, has the cable tension adjuster built in. So no barrel adjusters. Comparing to this one, we would need to have a barrel adjuster for this one somewhere along your housings on the frame, which also adds the weight if you consider the weight that much. But also sometimes these barrel adjusters are placed in such a bad places. Sometimes they are just hitting the frame or your handlebars. This is very good. This is not the barrel adjuster, so you need to use the Allen key for that. But once you have your derailleur adjusted, very nice. I like this thing. So internal toggle mechanism and cable tension adjustment with more clearance for the rear tire. That's great. Let's move on. This is the STI. So the shaping of the shifters from the Shimano is my favorite one. I like this one the most comparing to SRAM and Campy. The shifting mechanism is very interesting on both SRAM and Campy, but here there's also something that changed in a positive way. So first off, this one has been slimmed a little bit comparing to the 9000. There is also some texture added to our hoods. It's not the same as on the Ultegra, the newest Ultegra 8000. The shifting is crisp. I only had chance to ride like for a couple of minutes on different bikes on the bike festivals, but it feels very nice. This shifter, comparing to the older one, has also a larger reach adjustment, which is a great option because once you really try to find out your aero position and comfy position and you want to ride both on the hoods and on the drops, the reach adjustment for different hands sizes is really important, and the newest Dura-Ace has improved that, which is great. I like that they didn't only focus on weight aerodynamics, but also some features which really help us on the rides. This one also has a sharper feel, which I so much more prefer comparing to the older ones. The Shimano shifters, comparing to SRAM and Campy, shift in a very soft way. So when you push the button, it's almost like a button. It's so soft and silent. This one is more crisp, more snappy. You use a little bit more force perhaps, but it is something also that, in my opinion, it gives better momentum for the cable and for the rear derailleur. So if we add to it the shadow rear derailleur, I think that's a great thing. So it really works nice. Now let's just compare the shifters also to the Ultegra ones. Remember about this site, productinfo.shimano.com. So here we have the Dura-Ace, the newest one, right and left. This is the older version, 9000, and this is the Ultegra. The differences: Ultegra is operated on bushings, and the older and the newest Dura-Ace shifters have bearings, so multi-bearing construction for smoother operation, which is great. I'm always saying that if you have clean and good quality housings and cables, the Sora will do it very, very smoothly on the bushings. But the bearings is always a nice feature here, and also the material. So the bracket, the main body of it is made of carbon fiber reinforced polymer, both for the newer and older Ultegra and Dura-Ace, and Ultegra. but the main lever for the Dura-Ace is carbon. The Ultegra has carbon fiber reinforced polymer. That's the difference. One shifter Ultegra, 220 grams, pair of the newest Dura-Ace 365, and no shaving weight between the newest Dura-Ace and the older Dura-Ace. So these are the main differences, which is good to know about. Okay, so slimmed, textured, we've got better reach adjustment and sharper feel. That's the great thing. Cranksets. First off, these cranksets come with the power meter option, as you can see right there, which is cool. I like it, but I have the power meter in the pedals. I use Favero Axioma, which I love also, but this is a nice feature for the high-end group set. But anyway, still we have the forearm design as on the older one, and also the arms are not placed like symmetrically. They are placed in the area where we put the most power from our legs, because we don't put that much power here. We put the power right there and right there, so that's good. The crank arms are of a lower profile, and the design of this crankset allows for a shorter chainstays, because the chain rings have been moved a little bit towards the center line of the bike, so you can have shorter chainstays on the bike for some more playful and lively geometry of the bike. But these, which we already have on the bikes right now, I'm just so happy with those. I like the look. Some riders say that this black finish would wear off pretty quickly. I think it's like on the I had the Shimano XT, for example, crankset. It's pretty similar, so it does wear off quickly. The crankset is stiff, is cool. I would just wonder whether the shifting from the lower to the larger, higher gear is similar as on the Ultegra, but because I'm not that happy with the Ultegra there, and just a couple of minutes of rides on this one, I wasn't able to really check it out that well. So these are the main features. Then we have the brakes, which will allow us for 28 millimeters tires. Very good. I think most of the riders now will ride 25 millimeters, but having the option of 28 is just really good. Of course, the option of the 1130 teeth cassette right now. The hydraulic shifters for the hydraulic brakes are not that bulky. They look pretty cool as on the Ultegra. So these are the main things. Let's just sum up what has changed. So the rear derailleur is the shadow right now, shorter cable, better for internal cable routing, and the option for 1130 cassette. Then the front derailleur has the internal toggle mechanism with the cable tension adjuster built in, better clearance for the rear tire, so larger tire, which is cool. The shifter is slimmed, has better reach adjustment, and has snappier, louder shifting mechanism, I would say, and this is a plus. This is definitely a positive thing. The Dura-Ace crankset has the power meter option, very expensive, but it has it and it's built in, and you can replace the chain rings without affecting the work of the power meter, and also calibrating is just super easy with, I think there's here right there is a button for it, so you can like zero the calibration right there. So that's a cool thing. Shorter chainstays option for this crankset, and these are the main thoughts. Let me know what do you think, and just take part in the poll. Let's see what you're gonna choose, either the Shimano MTB group sets right now, or we're gonna continue with Kempe and SRAM racing group sets. See you guys, bye bye.